Hey Fanatics, Dave here with another video tutorial from lightroomfanatic.com. In my last video I talked about using the aspect ratio overlay in the crop tool to see what your images will look like at the various print sizes. And when I was going through that video, I kind of cycled through some of the other overlays that are available in the crop tool. So I just wanted to take a few seconds to talk about some of them and when you might want to use them. So again, I'm going to enable the crop tool by using the shortcut letter R. And then this is the grid overlay. I like to use this one for straightening. So if I wanted to, you can move your mouse outside of the crop area and rotate, and I could, if I had a building or something with 2 points, I could use the ruler tool, or I could also just make sure everything lined up on whichever one of the grid lines is closest. So I'm going to cycle through some of the other overlays using the shortcut of the letter O. So this next one is just the thirds, the rule of thirds, where you want your subjects sort of on one of the intersections to make it a more interesting image. Of course, every one of these rules is made to be broken, but these overlays will give you sort of an idea of where your image sits. So if I wanted to do maybe a little bit more interesting of a crop, I could do something like this and get my images or get my subjects a little bit closer to those corners. So I'm going to hit the letter O again. This next one is the diagonals. This one is used if you have something that leads into. This next one is the diagonals. This overlay creates 45-degree lines from the corners. And if you have diagonal subjects in your image, you could use this to kind of get everything lined up. So as you can see, mine's actually, I've got both of my subjects kind of lined up in this diagonal. So there you go. Hit the letter O again. This one is the triangle, and there's a couple of different triangles made with the shapes. And if I kind of expand this out, you'll see the triangles grow accordingly. But the idea here is to get subjects, if you had multiple subjects, to get them in the triangles, and that allegedly makes for a more interesting image. The next one is the golden ratio. This is very similar to the rule of thirds, but the corner boxes are a little bit bigger, so that's just weighted differently. Same sort of deal though. If I wanted to, I could get my subject in one of the corners, and that would make for a more interesting image. And the next one is the golden spiral. This one's actually interesting. If you go to the post on the website about it, I have a link over to the math behind this. But you'll see this spiral used in images where there's something circular like a flower, where the center of the flower winds up at this point down here, the smallest part of the spiral, and then the rest of the flower kind of aligns along the outside of it. It's very interesting, and you can actually switch between where the interesting point is by holding down Shift, and you'll see the center spiral kind of go from the bottom left to the bottom right. So depending on your image, you can rotate through those different options. The next one is the aspect ratio one, and that's the one that I had the video on last time. But you can see what your image will look like at the different crop factors for the different print sizes. And then the next one goes back to the grid. So that's just a quick overview of the different overlays that are available in the crop tool. Check out the post on the website, and I have a couple of examples for each of the different overlays and where they might be useful. But it took me a while to even figure out that there were more than the grid as an overlay. So hopefully that will enlighten you a little bit and make it easier for you to compose your images in Lightroom according to one of the magic overlays and some of the rules that are available in photography. So I hope that helps, and for more, check us out over at lightroomfanatic.com.